Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. If you all want an update, I can't tell you. Unless you become a lapwing, a monthly support. How would you like that? That is grifted, isn't it? I will be giving you an update, and I will start at 8 o'clock. I'm going to ask everyone to share because sharing is caring. And then I am absolutely shattered. I had no sleep last night before any event, whether it be a seminar or whether it be a court appearance like we did today. I don't sleep. So I feel like I could have a proper kip. And then tomorrow I've got them coming down to take down my Starlink. So, and then I've got to seriously prepare for moving. Charlie, if you've got a van, let me know because there's a few things we need to probably do to sort some stuff out, which would be really helpful. But I need someone strong because we've got to get a load of this stuff out of the gaff. And then it's got to go down the tip. But we've also got someone else coming up from Devon, not Devon, Dorset. Or is it Dorset? I can't remember. I'm tired. Sean Tyre, Faulkner Court, Evening All. That Keck Angel. Yay, DD, blessings. I knew it would go well. I'm English, not British. Don't forget to like and share. Liking and sharing tonight's show. We've got to try and get it out there. And again, I'm grateful for all our subscribers on Rumble. Even the Pentagon are now talking about Rumble. And I see something else today where the British are talking about taking down X and taking down Rumble. Why would they do that? Well, the answer is because, especially Rumble, as President Trump has already said, Rumble is a truth channel, and you're only ever going to get the truth from me on this channel. So, and you will get my honest opinions. Self-law, and there's no English constitution, so you're off to a bad start. Anyone out there? Self-law, whoever he is, don't forget, hit the ban from the channel. Not interested. So if you're out there, moderators on YouTube, click on the button and ban permanently. Right? It's really important that you do that. We're not interested in them. So whoever that person is on YouTube, if you are out there as moderators, ban permanently. John Aspinall, evening, Grant, for you and everyone else. Thank you very much. I'm just waiting to see I'll get an answer back from some of our moderators. If you're out there, let me do this before I do anything else. Let's see if I can take that. What happens if I take that down? Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that one. Can you still all hear me? I took my camera off for a second. Cockney Girl, West Ham United, even all, passing all went well. Gay couldn't make it today. Blessings, my most favourite frog. Timbuktu, evening. Cockney Girl, evening girls. Sean Tyre, Milking It Jenkins, Timbuktu, D2, Keck Rangel, Cockney Girl. Hiya, Sean. Let me have a look. This isn't going to be a long one tonight. I'm absolutely knackered. I want to strip out of these clothes, take my suit off, and go to bed and get some sleep. Blivings? Is that Bling Tings? Good evening, all. Good to see you. England are one. Let me have a quick look and see what else I'm putting up there. Luke 1956. We'll get to. We've got another 5 minutes before the show goes live. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you've never hit the like button before, hit it now. Don't forget to share the channel, all channels. Don't forget to share on all social media. Hopefully you can all hear me. I will put my camera on in a couple of minutes. Let me have a look and see who else is on there. Stafford Dron. Hi, DD and Patriots. June Gower. Evening D and chat. Jules and 67. Hiya, Milking It and Jenkins. Good evening, all. There is T2. Let's have a look and see Cockney Girl. Hopefully, the moderators have heard what I'm actually saying out there. Let me see if I can go back to this a second. Let me cut on that one before I get onto there. Any moderators out there? 5v5. I can only put them on timeout or hide their comment. It's not giving me the option to ban them. Oh, maybe I've got to ban them then. Let me have a look. Will there be a show tonight? I am actually live as we speak. Let me have a look. 5v5. As long as you're all seeing me, hit the button. That's fine. Let me know when you need me, mate. Well, the answer to that is, I can't remember what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. We need a couple of people to help us out, really. Local elections cancelled again. That's coming from Mark. This is a communist takeover of the country, by the way, and people need to understand exactly what's going on. So I'm hoping you can all see my Crusader badge there. Let's go back and see if I can see something else there. There's some great photos that come in today, so I will show you this one. Fairly obviously, you will see this. Let's see if I can pull this one up there. Let's see if I can bring that up. There you go. There's the Royal Courts of Justice on a lovely sunny day. Oh, that's not mine. That's Martin's. There's me. I think that's me. It looks like I've got long hair there, doesn't it? Is my hair overgrown? I don't like the look of that. Anyway, there's me talking to two of our wonderful supporters. So everything's out there. Let me stop sharing that. So don't forget, everyone, sharing is caring. Hit the like button. Let's see if we can hit 100 likes in record time. There's now 159 watching, 160 watching, 201 in total watching. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, make the effort to come across to Rumble. It is going to be the platform of the future. Anything that the British don't like, we should be on it. That's a straight answer. Saxon Cocktail. Good evening, sir. Hope all you're of great spirits. Grasshopper, are you out there? Let's see if he's out there. Captain Tim, are you reading me? Over. Chin Up DV, Stephen Whitaker. Smet 13, 57 likes. D2, I bet. Right. David Longstart. Rob Young. Oh, Rob Young. How you doing, son? I ain't seen you in the chat for a while. How you getting on? Grasshopper. I got an England flag today and some bunted. Laugh at. Oh, good. Good evening, DD. Blessings. Sue Ellen. Smet 13. England are 1. SAP 69. Good evening, DD and Patriots. Hi, everyone. And thank you for what you have done today, Graham. It's an absolute pleasure. I won't say it wasn't stressful. But I'm going to tell you the story in a minute. You're going to think it's fucking hilarious. Well, it actually ain't funny. But I can tell you that what someone I consider to be reasonably young, possibly in his 30s, that was one of the respondents against me today. He had to put up a bit of a battle against my arguments. And when we all come out of the court, and you can ask anyone this, right? He'd had an heart attack, laying outside the courtroom. Literally, there was a lovely lady there with a green dress. I don't know what her name is. She assisted him, and she was with us technically. But she was, I believe, some form of either first aider or whatever, but like he was literally laying outside on his back outside the courtroom. Um, so obviously he had a bit of an. It's not funny. I hope, and I do mean this sincerely, he has a full recovery. I don't know what he had. I mean, some people say it was an heart attack. Was anyone there, anyone in the audience that saw it today? I'll understand a bit more about it because I don't know actually what happened. Tim on the boat, Jimmy, Lucky, New Age Templar, loud and clear from Portugal. Christopher McCall. I went and checked my local MP last night after watching your Thetford Free messages, and Martin McCluskey is a nice position in the Scottish Fabian Society scumbag. Can vote to kill unborn. Yeah, I know. You won't believe what some of these people are. The Woody 57. England 1. Hello, Sue Ellen. Right. Music Fan 7. Hello, darling. You. I ain't seen you in the chat for a while. And it's not because you've probably been in there. It's just that the chat goes so quick. It's unbelievable. Don't forget, sharing is caring. I do understand it's Friday evening. But today was a long day. And I can't wait to get this suit off and just put my head down and go to sleep. And then I've got to start getting this gaff ready for me to duck out. And I'm looking forward to go down Devon. All right. So Juicy and Lucy, how you doing? Jay Funk the Court is out there. Stafford John, Real Truth Please. Everyone out there. Steve Whitaker. It was a few minutes past 8. No doubt we're going to have some stragglers, and I will tell you what is going on. So it was in Court 3 at the Royal Courts of Justice. Again, this wonderful gaff, which I'll show you on the screen again, just to make sure that everyone understands. It was the main court that we was in, just to make sure everyone understands. This is a photograph from today. Let me hit the button and I will show you entire screen. There it is on your screen at the moment. There's lots and lots and lots of things happening that people need to understand. So there was obviously legal argument. All 4 barristers come out flying. 2 High Court judges listening to what we had to say. It was all legal argument. There was nothing about this evidence and what we had. They said this is literally just about whether this proceeds to trial. One of the guys was exceptionally boring, and I think everyone knows that. Even the judges was rolling their eyes, thinking, "Come on, get on with it." I don't think I've ever met anyone as boring. Even the usher was falling asleep. Well, actually, he fell asleep. One of the ushers fell asleep, right, because he was that boring. Again, I can't express to everyone how grateful I am for the support, right? When I tell you that it was I think a slightly larger court. It had an upstairs gallery which they didn't open for us, but they should have done. The gallery, there was literally standing room only in the court. The gallery was packed, right? When I say packed, I mean packed solid. The difference that makes when the judges come out and say that there is public interest is massive. That many people come from everywhere. There was a great group, and I definitely want to do this. They come from, I can't remember the name of his bar, but I think Jim, and if Colin's listening to this, we'll have to speak to Jim. I'm sure Jim played there, but I'm not sure. But it's in Southend. It's a bar. He said, "I want you to come down, do a seminar at my bar. We'll pack it out. We'll do the leafleting. We'll get you out there." That's in Southend. There was a lovely couple from Southend that was at the Thetford Freedom Festival. They said to me, "We want you to come to Southend to do a seminar." I want everyone to understand. I will come to Essex in Southend especially and do a full Comanche English Constitution seminar. But you need to contact me, right, by email, preferably ecp at englishconstitutionparty.com, right, and I'll directly get that email to do with the seminar, and we'll arrange that. So there was a lot of people, trust me. I mean, when I say a lot of people, they was outside in the hallway. They couldn't get any more people in the call, right? And they were standing outside. There was a really lovely gentleman who was blind, who come all the way to see me, and he just wanted to shake my hand, and he gave me a donation of a lottery ticket, right? So I can't remember what the date is on that, but I'll be having a look. Hopefully my numbers come in, or our numbers come in. Received wonderful, I won't say who these are, but wonderful donations as well that helps me, especially. Another lady bought me a wonderful book, which I've got out in the hallway at the moment. I forget I'm moving, so I've got to organise that. I acquired a load more paperwork. They brought all the paperwork there, and it was lucky I actually took a suitcase, right? So what I took to the call was a suitcase of all my, well, not all, but a lot of the old books. And I was talking through that to the justices. Let me just pull that over the other way, right? Because my hair is all over the place. Not that I'm worried about my partner, but I do want to. I have to go see if I can. Oh, looks like I've gone. My hair's gone whiter today. Probably has. I always do the lottery for us. Well done. Slimming, I really wanted to be out there, but financially, a situation say no, that's not a problem. I am grateful. I know I was a bit funny yesterday, but to be fair, having Janice's funeral yesterday and me not going because my mind was on this case, and then getting the other bits. So I just want to make sure there was one particular person contacted me who sent me a message, said, "I can't get there, blah blah blah." And then asked whether I was blanking, and I said, "No, I'm not blanking yet. I was laying in bed. My phone was out here, my hearing aid was out here, and I was laying in bed. And then I just see on my laptop, which I think is quite it's muted, right? And then all of a sudden I'll see a couple of messages come in. So what I don't want is for people to think it was directly directed at them. It wasn't, right? But it is fucking stressful. Just advising you in the future, if we got a court case, don't send me messages saying you ain't coming because it don't help me. What I'm saying is the moralisation or the demoralisation section of it, but let's not harp on about that, right? Let me tell you something. It's the people who didn't email and just turned up. Martin and his wife, lovely wife, all the way from Runcorn and Hillsby. People from, like I said, from all over the country turned up there. A wonderful gentleman's turned up from Yorkshire, Birmingham. Hey, listen, I absolutely love it when Brummy turns up. All right, lad. I was like, I love it when he turns up. I don't know why, I just do. And I'm so grateful for all the support. When I say it was mobbed, again, people from Enfield, there was people from everywhere, Sussex, you name it. Everyone flocked up there. And when I say it was fucking mobbed, it was mobbed. They was like, you could see, right, it creates an ambience in the court, right, when everyone's sitting there going like, especially, and I know, listen, I'm not just saying it, there was a number of disabled people there. Well, I'm standing up, and especially, like, I'm going to say especially, it's fairly obvious, right, if you've got a white stick, all right, and I'm not taking the piss, right, we stand for disabled people, we stand for the Constitution, we stand for pensioners. So when you've got people with disabilities there, and we're saying we're the only people who stand up for them, it makes a fucking big difference. And when I say a big difference, I mean a big difference. So I am more. Let me know if you need hand moving any bits or a load driving up to Devon. Got my email, sound check 2010. Who's that one? the answer is I do. I'm not sure if you've contacted already. We need as much help as possible, really. What I don't want to do is give anyone an heart attack trying to get any of this furniture out of this gaff. And I've still got to go through everything now and pack everything away, shut everything down. I've got the people coming for the Starlink, which the whole platform went down. I'm getting a bit. This is getting a bit close to the mark with the Cumulus, and because it looks like the British are looking like taking down X and taking down Rumble. 10 days of darkness. So I don't know what's going on in the background. But let's carry on with the case, because I know that's what you're all interested in, right? We've got 408 watching in total on the different platforms. Keep sharing. It is massively important. Right. So the arguments, and again, I don't mean any disrespect to the gentleman, but he appears to have an heart attack. He come out of there. I just see him on the floor and thought, right, is that one of us? And it wasn't. I weren't being horrible. I don't want to be, and I'm definitely not. But listen, I want him to have an absolute full recovery. I don't want anyone dying or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't wish him ill. And I genuinely suspend my good wishes. It was just a shock at seeing someone with all the gear on them, you know, like the bits of wires and an ECG on him, and he basically collapsed. And I don't know why, but he did. So there were two sets of arguments first, and I agreed with the judge. She said, "Can we take out these two first?" I said, "Yeah." Well, what she meant was, "Can we deal with these two matters first?" And I thought, all right. So, and that was the Royal Mail Group Limited and the police. Now, what they were saying, that their arguments were that because of statute, that Royal Mail Limited cannot be taken to court on an election petition, and nor can the police. The only people who can be taken to court is a returning officer and the other candidate, right? No one else can be taken to court. And what I said is, well, the common law controls petitions and freedom of elections and all the old law books, and I read all that out. I think people will accept. I don't know. They'll tell you in the audience now how they thought I did. But both judges retired to decide that part of the case. They walked out the door, come back in the door, and said no. Right. So for me, that was predetermined. I will say that the judge also, the female judge, Mrs. Yin, told the court straight away, I need to make in effect a declaration to the court on the subject of bias. And what she said was that my second cousin is actually someone who was just joined from Wales. You remember that person they punted out who was I think a conservative or whatever, and she's just changed over in Wales to Reform and Farage is sticking it all out there, and they went, second, it was the judge's second cousin. Right? By the way, her father was also an appeal court judge, and she said, I don't consider, it's a second cousin, I haven't spoken to her for 20 years, I don't consider there's any conflict of interest, nor did I, to be honest with you. So I weren't worried about that at all, but I was grateful that she said it to the court. So to cut a long story short, on that side of it, they gone out, they retired for about a minute, come back in, pre-made decision. No, we do not accept. And she said, we must abide by statute, right? So she weren't accepting anything to do with that, right? At the end of the case, I stood up and said, can I have permission to appeal that? She said, well, I haven't given you the reasons yet. She said, but I will give you the reasons. And she said, I will give you extra time if you intend to appeal that decision. She said, but it must be on a point of law. I said, oh, it will be. Anyway, everything is in my skeleton argument I'm going to be relying on, and it is, I believe, a winning appeal point, or appeal points, and one of them was the fact that it was a pre-made decision, right, without any arguments. So that pushed them two out, right, which means the Royal Mail Group Limited were out of it, and the police chief constable was out of it, and him and his merry men getting back to in the recess. They've then left, and again, one of them guys who was arguing against me was the one who become very, very, very ill. He didn't look very well, and there was a lovely lady there with a green dress, very pretty by the way, that was helping him. Now I won't say too much, other than that person has also got a case for election interference and wanted to come up and have a listen to see what was going on. So again, very, very positive feedback from lots of different people. Now, when we come back, we retired for about 3/4 of an hour of recess. We needed a comfort break after Mr. Boring really triggered. And I mean a comfort break. No beer, no nothing. Don't even think I had anything to eat. I had a coffee, a few mouthfuls of coffee, got some more water, and we all had a chat. Loads of us, we were so happy with that. And there's some people who've took some photos. I need the photos. If someone can send me the photos, it'd be handy. You can send them on WhatsApp. I'll bring it up and show you all of us standing outside. Not all of us, but a lot of us, because some people are already out to leave. But you can see us out there. And when it went back in, Mr. Boring yawned on, droned on about a number of things, started droning on about costs again. And again, they said, we're not going to discuss the costs until basically the end of this. But the point being, I started to, this is for the returning officer and for Sarah Pouchin. They was arguing about service. They was arguing about it being abuse of Parliament's privilege because I served her at Parliament. They was going into the CPR rules. They was going into election petition rules. They was going into every type of rule, right? So obviously they'd already basically said, we're not interested in your constitutional argument. Not at all, right? I said it's just a no-goer. But, right, because of this, these two guys droning on and on, and at one point, Pouchin's solicitor, barrister, whatever he was, got a bit cocky, and it looked like the other judge, Mr. Butler, I think he didn't like what he was saying, didn't like what he was doing. I didn't get any of this, by the way. This is where the gallery was watching the judges, and they seemed pretty. They didn't like some of the things he was saying. So what I had to do, and when it was my turn to stand up and speak again, I went through some other points, but it was all focused, and I had to do this. So I had a secondary argument in my skeleton argument, which was to do with the European Convention for Human Rights, which was also to do with some other arguments to do with what's known as tabulated legalism, right? So there was some very high court cases, and there were some other cases where I took extracts out there and I said, you're going to make our rights into a dead letter, right? Which was a unison case. There was another case which was the pro-life case, which they weren't really interested in listening to because the Royal Mail Group had already been kicked out, right? But what she tried to say to me, she said, Mr. Moore, you're the petitioner. It's not for me to guide you, but try and be succinct. You've already seen the arguments we're not interested in, right? basically. She said that, right? She didn't use them exact words, but she was basically saying there's something else in your skeleton argument that you can rely on. I knew exactly what she was saying. So I drilled down, and I'd already gone through my skeleton argument so I could turn to each part, right? And then read out the separate elements, read out some of the stuff from the law books, etc. And because I didn't drone on, my opinion, she was very happy, right? And so the other judge, which was Mr. Butler, he was, I think it was Mr. Butler. Someone will have to correct me on his name, but so the Royal Mail shot got away with it. Jules and 67, no, they haven't. I'll get back to that in a minute, right? So Jules and 67, so the Royal Mail got away with it. No, they haven't, right? Trust me, they got away with it, right? So they was coming back to me, and I said, listen, in common law, right? And I said, there's a number of things that I want to present to these two judges. I said, the first is the law or the guidance to judges on a litigant and person. I said, I'm not a solicitor, I'm not a barrister, right? I am the man on the omnibus. I am a working person. I just happen to be a candidate in Runcorn and Hillsbury, and I happen to obviously lead the English Constitution Party, the English Constitution Society. That the point of this is the Judicial College Handbook, litigants in person, spells out that you must be more open and lenient towards a litigant in person for all the little bits of rules. You've also got backing you up, and I said to them, you have the power. You are common law judges, right? I said, so we was going through that, and then we went through the European Court for Human Rights, and in particular, we went through Article 3, Part 1, which basically said that with reference to this, you must have access to courts, you must have access to this, you must have access to that, and all of this was laid out. And then I brought up various European Court of Human Rights Strasbourg rulings on exactly the subject we was talking about, which was basically bringing in tabulated legalism. In other words, so the argument was, I was saying to them, we have an undoubted right, whether it be the European Convention of Human Rights or the English Bill of Rights or the common law, to freedom of elections, right? What we're looking for is a trial to produce our evidence and show judges this is what happened, right? And for us to give that evidence. But if we're going to be blocked by in effect, tabulated legalism, in other words, CPR rules, petition rules, etc., when they're not statute, right? Then in effect, you're blocking our right to justice, and that's wrong in law. And I put that over. I think everyone who's listening, tell me if I keep me honest here, because I'm sort of dragging my mind to make sure everyone understands. And then what they did was they said, right, has everyone finished? And I stood up and I said, Mr. Moore, is there anything else you want to add? So I stood up and I said, may I have permission to appeal? She said, I haven't given the reasons yet. And I said, in relation to the other two, and she said, so by the way, that listen, there's some other things that you probably ain't aware of. Because I brought up the Human Rights Act 1998, it was sort of agreed there is another avenue for you, which is Human Rights Act 1998, for what you allege the police have done, and you allege the Royal Mail have done, without challenging on the other part. And I do respect that, and we can do that, and I believe we got a good case, right? So we could, and that means I can go for damages, right? I went all the way back to First Statute of Westminster, went all the way through the laws, the old law books. They seemed quite impressed that I had two really old law books there. and I was talking to them about it not being agency principle, but it being master servant, right? And I said all the old law books say that. Well, they dismissed all of that completely. They wasn't interested. They was basically saying Parliament is sovereign. And what I said was even A.V. Dicey changed his mind, right? But they weren't entertaining it at all. It took them 2 minutes. They walked out, come back, and they went, no, right? But we do want to listen to these arguments. Reference, they didn't say it to me, but what she said was, which I can't help you, but can you target your arguments to these certain things? And I did, right? Well, as much as I possibly could. One of the things that I said to her, because Sarah Patchin and others were saying that it breached parliamentary privilege, I said it didn't breach parliamentary. I said let me give you an analogy. If I'd walked into Parliament, I went up to the Speaker, brushed past the Sergeant at Arms, and said, "I want to," during a debate, said, "I want to serve Sarah Patchin with these documents," and they said no, right? Then and only then would I be in contempt of Parliament, which is what's been referenced. But I didn't do that. I served them by the Royal Mail, first class, and Sarah Pouchin has stated in her own witness statement that she received it on the stated date. So it was within time. What she's trying to use is a privilege argument. And I said the English Bill of Rights states all in singular, and that the privilege element is a separate right to their, what they use. And I said, but we have rights, right? The English have rights, all in singular. And then I said, you've got freedom of election, which is separate. I said also, Ashby versus White was quite clear. There was an argument between the House, between Chief Justice Holt and I think they definitely weren't Whigs. These two, in other words, they was more Toryfied, and they was basically they was listening, but they was like, look, well, let's get to the European Convention of Human Rights, which I did, and I went through all that. There was a number of statements that I read out in law on that. Then at the end of it, they said, okay, if you're quite finished. I said, yeah, obviously about the appeal. And they said, what we're going to do is we're going to hand down and we will extend it for you, right? So you will have enough time to work out exactly what your position is from our position for you to appeal it, but it must be on a point of law. It cannot be, you can't argue your case again. It must be on a point of law. And I said, I understand, and I understand exactly what the point of law is going to be, which I do. It was in my head straight away. I wrote it down in front of me. And I think it's quite a good appeal point. I won't say any more about that because there's another element to that, which I told the people up there, but I can't say on the show. There's another element to that. And then they said, well, we're going to make a decision. One of the things that we need to know, and they said to the returning officers council, do you know where this venue is going to be yet? And he said, well, I haven't been instructed on it. She said, well, you need to. We need to find out where this place is going to be because we're now going to set, we're going to be setting a date. We're going to be doing this. And so the gallery was, from my opinion, when I was outside, they were saying that it looks like she's going to go ahead with it. And I said, I wouldn't take any notice of that. Right, I wouldn't take any notice of that at all. What she's trying to show you there is she hasn't made a decision yet, and they could easily make the decision, no, it's not going forward, right? It won't be this part of the decision. She said, we will hand it down possibly in 3 to 4 weeks, and they're going to send me the email, and then I'll know whether I've lost, and then there's going to have to be, if I've lost or we've lost, then I can write full arguments for a full-on appeal, which I will be doing. But it could go the other way. If the gallery have read it right, and not me, if the gallery has read it right, it's going forwards. I could sense a little bit of panic from both the Returning Officers Council and Sarah Pouchin's council, because both the judges were asking them questions and saying, well, hang on a minute, there is discretion here. And one of the things with the European Court of Human Rights, which people possibly don't understand, is the judges have got the power to say that we believe that the petition rules or the CPR rules, in using them in the way that they're being used, is incompatible with the human rights, with European Convention for Human Rights. You've all heard that term before. That's what they was aiming at. They was trying to find a way of doing it, right? And there is potential that could happen, right? So the European Convention for Human Rights is basically all they wanted to listen to, even though I did say, most barristers and solicitors and judges have been misinstructed, not interested. Right? We're not interested in that. We're only interested in the European Convention for Human Rights, right? And it could be that they find in our favour to try and highlight the European Convention of Human Rights, and to get that put out to the public to say, look how great they was, and because you've got these other groups now saying we want to come out of it. I don't know how that's going to go on. What I do know is that they will be giving us an answer. So when they give me the answer, I'm not allowed to tell you, right? So they will give me a bit of a chance. I've got a bit of a head start to do a full appeal. I've got a bit of a head start already because I sort of know what they're going to say on the first two. And the other argument is we can still, because we're within time, to bring a case against both the police and the Royal Mail Group Limited under human rights laws, European Convention of Human Rights, right? In other words, what I'm saying to you is the 1998 Act that they brought in, and they will be more willing to look at that and say, well, hang on a minute, you're right, they did do this, because it's not bringing it under petition, the petition side of it, it's bringing it under human rights. So let's use you to our advantage for Cockney Girl. No, that's right. So Cockney Girl, West Ham United, that's exactly why I put it in there, right? I am absolutely, I put it in there. It's a secondary argument. They was like, we like your secondary arguments. They didn't say that, but they was that. So again, just to make sure you're all aware, I was very succinct. I'd already written through and gone through my arguments. I said the fuller arguments are in the skeleton argument, and any way in which if you can look at that. And they said, no, that's fine. And I'd gone through and I went through the paragraphs and I read the paragraphs out and I read the European Convention for Human Rights, the different cases I was relying on, and they was very much bang, 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 bang. I was like bang, bang, bang. So instead of droning for a long time, because this guy was trying to, I think, run me out of time, I was like bing, 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 bing. And she said, so are you happy with that? I said, well, is there any more questions from either your ladyship or your lordship? And I think he asked me a question and said, what about this? I can't remember what the question was or what my answer was, right? And then I tried to push it forward that way. But they seemed quite happy with it. When I say quite happy with it, I was pleased that I didn't drone. I think they was quite impressed. I just went bang, 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 bang. Right, that's it. That's what I've got. That's what I'm relying on. It was UK Supreme Court that I was relying judgments that I was relying on. European Convention of Human Rights that I was relying on, and another element I was relying on. And they was like, bang, no, we're happy with that. Again, I also relied on there's some cases that come from constitutional cases that come from the former colonies, which are now dominions, and now relying on getting their English constitutional rights upheld in the Privy Council committee, which is the same set of judges in the UK Supreme Court, but then they put a different hat on, which is for the Dominions. And in them cases was about tabulated legalism, and they said basically you can't do that. You can't stop someone getting to their substantial rights through saying they didn't tick the right box. That's not on, right? Otherwise, and one of the things the case that I use is you risk rights being a dead letter. And there was lots of things. So hopefully I've described that to everyone. So I've got to be honest with you, I felt mentally shattered because you're concentrated, and when you're hard of hearing and their fucking hearing loop don't work, right? I had to turn my hearing aids up full, which I still ain't turned them down yet. Funnily enough, I'm going to do that now because I can hear myself and it's fucking loud. Maybe get a good night's sleep tonight. I'm so proud of you, and I can't even tell anyone. Not yet, anyway. But one day, love you. Ah, that's my little lady friend. I'm washing, brother, says Captain Tim Nigel. Let's see if I need to get on to this. Oh, there it is. Let's turn this back down again. So I'll turn it down to 9's a bit too low. Maybe I'll need to go up a bit more. Come on. Right, let me have a look. I'll put it on there. Let's have a look. I'll just turn it down a bit. It was on 15. That's like a I nearly called it a wog box. It's like a sound booster. You know the one you used to carry on your feet. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, from YouTube, remember, Neil Support plus DD. Do we know if the Americans showed up again? No. No one come and spoke to me about the Americans, so I don't know what actually went on there. There might have been someone there, and they never said anything. But when I say it was packed, it was absolutely jam-packed. Just to let you know, I mean, mega. And I couldn't have been more pleased. No, we will never surrender to treason. So there is a beatbox. Is that what it's called? Right. Ghetto blaster. Are you coming out with all the politically correct words for it now? We're all proud of you, DD. You've done yourself and England proud. Well, again, the people who was there today, Susan Riley, DD, well done, Graham. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you again. Alice Paisley, who's that? Pleasure to meet you. Alex with a black camper. Alex with a black camper. Oh, right. Let me have a look and see if there's anything in here. Hello. Middlesex man. DD, following our chat in the pub, I've been looking at election petition cases and found one where the returning officer has been included as a respondent. I will email. He has to be returned as a respondent, I believe. Okay, thank you very much. Forwarded it to me. Cockney Girl, West Ham United, come and have a few nights down here in the huts during the week, DD. I can't, I'm moving during the week. So Monday night, I've got a seminar in Bedford. So I'm going to Bedford to do a seminar and talking to that group. And then on Wednesday, I'm moving to Devon. So I've got to get everything out of this flat, as much as I can. So it's been a bit stressful. I need a bit of help with that. And because my head has been in the zone, I ain't really done anything to start sorting this gaff out. Let me have a look, and I've got to do. When you've got to go through everything, you've got to do all your mail forwarding. You've got to change all your bank statements. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. You've got to do lots of different things. I've got to take photos of the meters and then get the meters turned off. Make sure I turn the heating off, or not the heating, but the hot water off, which I'll probably do if someone reminds me. And then I've got to take a photo of the electric meter and the gas meter. Archanaut, let me tell you something. You was fantastic. So was Alex and Yvonne. Sue was there. Just literally, what I feel bad about is not remembering everyone's names, but I can tell you now, I was absolutely well supported, and that's exactly what that court needs to see. John Graham, President Trump, about to land in Scotland tonight. Hope you get a phone call. Yeah. And by the way, I swiped all the way through the country. So everyone was sitting there probably dying for a cigarette. I know I needed to use a loo. How can they ignore the English Constitution? Because of their training. And it is a problem. It is a problem. But again, we'll get there. Music Fan 7 North. Evening. Didn't realise it was this week or next week. Yeah. Or is it this week? What's the date? It's Friday, isn't it? I'm losing track of time. So again, if anyone took personal offence yesterday to me being a bit stressed, I apologise. And again, don't think I'm aiming this at you as an individual. I'm not, right? You know, when I started going into one last night, it's just, and I had one person come back to me, are you blanking me? I said, no, I'm not. My phone's in, and I just looked at my phone, right? That's a lovely lady who sent me that. I said, no, you sent that, you're going to have to shag me. Hiya, Ray Medmans, blessings, Ray. I hope things ease for you soon, Ray, DD. Yeah, no, I agree. Ray, I know you're in a bad place. Middle evening, everyone. Sent you an email earlier. You may find it interesting, John at large. Let me have a look and see if there's anyone else out there. And again, let's see if our old mate from Birmingham is there. I think there's a couple of people there from Birmingham today, but the full-on Brummie. Let's be honest, it's not training, it's institutionalisation. No, I agree, Baron Buggins. Baron Buggins. Who's Baron Buggins? Byron Buggins, show me who it is. Tracy Truism, North Allure. And Tracy Truism was out there. Everyone, loads of people were saying, is that Tracy? Yeah, that's Tracy. And there's Neil, her husband. And Neil is such a lovely fellow. When he's had a drink, he's just a happy person. Back for England, Alex. How you doing, son? And Yvonne, again, great support. Come there today, and I was so grateful. It's one of them things. Obviously, I can't go around talking to people in my head, and especially when I got in the pub after. Straight away, can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a drink? I think I had 2.5 pints of Guinness, but I knew how to get home. And then because I acquired some more paperwork, my suitcase, lucky I took a suitcase with all the books, and they didn't really think it was that odd, which I thought they might do, and they didn't. They went, no, go on. And I plugged my laptop in. I didn't use it in the end. John, really good new tea. Well done. Well, all I can say is we've tried, right? Which is more than what the English Democrats done when they've been shit on from a great height by all these different processes in the back. What I said is I will never tolerate it happening to us, and at least now they know. You fuck with them, you're going to end up in an election petition, right? And what we've got to do is win that. Laugh out loud. We love buying you a pint, DD. Change my picture, yes. And it was absolutely fantastic. First, it went down really well, and then someone said, you slowed up a bit, and and I was, when you're tired, you ain't had nothing to eat, you've had 2 pints and knocked them back, and you think, hang on a minute, I'm going like the work, because I hurt my foot. That's how people today, I won't say anything, but they went, nah. I said, yeah. Let me have a look. Hello, well done from Southwest. Paul's rumbling. Yield, Wassel. So don't forget sharing is caring. So Still hit the like button. I'm going to have a look in 2 minutes. We've got 468 people in total watching. We've got 375. If you think I've done a good job today, hit the like button immediately. Get the like button right over there. I'm going to click on it in 2 minutes to see how far it's gone up, because it makes a massive difference. Don't forget, sharing is caring. The more you get it out there. So the direct answer is, at the moment, whatever happens, Sarah Pouchin, MP, and the returning officer are going to be shitting themselves, in my opinion, because it can still go either way for them. Merlin, let me have a quick look. Grasshopper, hit the like button out there. Yeah, hit the English button as well. Let's see all the English flags float out there. Look at these English flags coming out. But like I say, it don't help. I don't know how I'm going to do this in the future, but if we have anything like this happen again in the future, and trust me when I say this, listen, never surrender, right? If they know you ain't messing, you're gonna crack on and push it forward, they will take note and say, don't do that to them, right? If you do that to them, you'll end up in court. I did say to them, there is a method of operation. It's a standard fraud that they're doing, and I said that today. I do know, because someone else is there and in front of the same judge, that person has said the same thing. There is a specific way that they do it, right? So this judge is hearing that more and more, and therefore could cause a massive problem for them. User SJ1122, how you doing, son? And again, thank you for all the support I got, and especially from the people who come down from Runcorn. You know you are. Well done. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share. And now you can ask me some questions if you want. Oh, look at that. We've got 153 likes. Oh, look, we've still got the fucking troll out there. The troll don't like it. Right. I think I know who the troll is anyway. It don't really matter. Razor Tony, Tracy Truism. What's that site? Let me have a look. Perry Mason is a drone and DD is way better. Well done, Keck Angel. Keck Angel. Robbie Young is out there. Noff's out there. Bam 7. How you doing? Again, back for England 56. Really grateful for your support. Jules 67. Hello, darling. How are you? Keck Angel, Unreal. Juicy and Lucy. I don't know what that is out there. Light Owl, Juicy and Lucy, the black flags are coming up there because YouTube does not allow you to put them on there. It's probably one of the reasons why the British are going to shut us down, because we've got the English flags everywhere. What does that say? Lunderground Troll is probably lost on the date. Yogi 17. Let's have a look. Let's read out some of these people on there. That wing, Wilnut. Hello, Wilnut. How you doing, son? Middlesex Man. Again, what's that one there? Morning QC video, Banana Republic. Again, we need to watch that one. Yeah, they was allowing loads of stuff to come in, but they didn't allow me to bring anything in, which is bad, really. But then again, they might, you never know, they might give us a result. All we can do is try, though. The surest way to fail is not to try. DD, on your way to Devon, you will pass, mate. Stop in for a cuppa. I don't know what I think we've got a van coming up, and then I'll be driving down there as well. England. Taffy Pat, well done. Wales is my answer. Did you all see that there was a bit of information come out about Cornwall yesterday? They're looking to allow Cornwall, they're accepting that they are the fourth nation within the United Kingdom. Thank you, DD, so much for all your hard work. You're a star. I don't feel like a star. I feel shattered. Right, Mary Spoon, Juicy and Lucy, so Daddy Dragon, yeah, Ban 7, Redfish, please. Slimming. Wales. Back for England, 56. Well done, DJ. Thanks for all your hard work. No problem. Right. Let's just see. All we're going to see is the absence. Pipe jar. I think your ages. Well done, son. How you doing? All going good, Tracy. Much love to you all. Cornwall shit. I'm sure there's some people from Cornwall who would disagree with you. Should have its independent if it wants it. No, I agree with that. Listen, I believe in self-determination. If the people want to chat, if they want that, if they want to bold it on everyone as well, and it's not me being horrible to them. I think they should protect their borders. The murders of dead bodies found in Cornwall. West Farm. Oh, that is ancient. Let's have a look and see how many people are out there. We're still at 478. So if you share again, we'll see if we can get the total up over 500 for the news. But yeah, you're still my spiritual advisor. Don't worry about that, son. So, on the whole, I would suggest there's still avenues. They're not saying to us. Well, from what I read today, they're not saying that they're basically sort of hinting. Why don't you use the European Communities Act? And are almost suggesting we go for it. I was like, so that could be. Can't post on England flag, so England. Chocolate lads, you should be able to post an English flag. I can't do it on my one. I can do it on the other one. Let's see if I can do it on the other one. There it is. There you go. Let me have a look. I'm sort of hungry, but I don't particularly want to get something to eat. Maria Spoon, they look England flag off me articles. Grasshopper, all of that information. Luke 1950 again. Jimmy, thank you for coming up there today. Yeah, all good. Looking forward to relaxing weekend. Hope you're well. Smet 13. Right. Any questions? Not me. Highlight what you do, Word document, or copying and pasting exactly the same text. I think it depends what browser app you use. I recommend Brave. I use Brave. Smet, but it's good sometimes. D-Day, I can post the English flag on comments, but not in chat. That's weird. You have got access to it. Honestly, let's have a look and see if I can find something. How did I go to that? Oh, I don't know where that's gone. I'm trying to find how you do it. I did have it before. Maybe it's that one. Oh, there it is. What am I going to go for? I'll tell you what I'll do. This is what I believe in, right? That one. We need your Northern Irish one in there, don't we? That's it. Let me see if I can hit the button. How do I do that now? I need to get off that. How do I do it? Oh, there's a flash one. There it goes. Was that everything that come up there? No, I don't. Oh, I don't know. I've gone pear-shaped on me already. That one. That one. We need to get the Cornwall flag and some other bits in there. Let's see if that goes up there. There you go. Just put them out there. Danny Dragon, John Giles. I don't even have flags listed in the emojis. You should have. We're up to 400. So don't forget to hit the like button because that's really helpful. And don't forget to share because sharing is caring. Let's see if I can hit that button. So there he is. We're now up to 165. Right. So if you haven't liked it yet, like it on Rumble. Obviously, like it on YouTube and see if you can spread the love. Bedford seminar. Yeah, there's a Bedford seminar Monday evening. I'll need to show you that really. Where can I go and find that? Oh, there it is. Well done. Let me see if I can push that up. There's a number of us. There was a lot more than that, by the way. I think some of them already gone. There's the boys from. Oh, look, everyone's in there. These people are so lovely. You know that. I'll show you this picture, which Tracy has sent out to me. There it is on your screen now. There you go. There's us lot standing there with the English flags. And people was all staring because we had the English flag and the England flag out there. Because we are English constitutionalists with disabled people there, various different people. Right, we've got I call them the mob from Southend. Was there as well. Right, so very good. Oh, I've got some more. Let me bring them up. There was a few of the pictures out there. Let's see if I can hit some of these. There you go. Out there holding the pictures up. The first one was probably the best one. They're all good. Oh, look at that. I haven't got it up there. Let me go back and see if I can hit some of these so you can see what they look like. Right? What was the first one? There's the first one. There was the second one. And there was that. There was a load more than that, though, by the way. There's a closer up one. I look like I'm putting on weight again. I need to take the weight back off again. There you go. It was just fantastic. The level of support up there was fantastic. There they are again, just to make sure everyone's got it. Let me have a look and see if there's more of us. Martin. Again, they're all out there. I love it. Look. So we've got a restaurant that can hold at least 100 people, by the way, which we will be looking at to do a seminar in Southend. Incoming photos. Is there even more of them? Well, they're the ones I had a look at. Oh, lady friend, and you said you weren't with anyone. I'm not with anyone. Listen, I'm being interrogated now on WhatsApp by this lady friend I spoke of. Right. She happens to be with someone. Not that I would destroy anything like that, but let's have a look. I am perfectly single at the moment. Sorry, I loaded them up in the wrong order. The last one was the first one. That's all right. There you go. All on there. So it's out there. Don't forget to put all that information out there. That's it. Let's see if there's any questions. Juicy and Lucy. Anything else going on there? I don't think so. Slimming, love the rightful flags. Yeah. Hello, Johnny G. Hello, John Godfrey. Godley Hardy. How you doing, son? And thank you for your best wishes this morning. Grasshopper, are you on the electoral roll? Are you on the electoral roll? You have to be on the electoral roll to stay in the election. Music fan 7, so long as it's not a lady boy. Yeah, I need a lady boy. I don't do lady boys. We went Southend a couple of years ago and a machete fight was happening on the promenade. Yeah, I remember that. Choosing it if you wish to send Danny Dragon a personal donation for all his hard work. Yeah, my funds are low. I mean, this morning in my account, I could just about get the Uber cab. So, Alec, let's have a look. Welcome, bro. And again, Jimmy in Northern Ireland, I haven't forgot about you. I've just been massively busy doing all these different things. And don't forget, I've got my move on as well. But I am looking at getting out there. Let's have a quick look at this one. I'm watching, brother. Do you have trousers on this this evening? What do you mean if I've got trousers? I've always got trousers on. If I've got trousers, no. All right. What do you think? I'll sit here in stockings and suspenders or something. Of course I've got trousers on. Tiddly poo. Luke Angel, good night. So I am going to say good night, God bless. I'm going to take this suit off and I'm going to go to bed. So I hope you are all pleased with what went on today. New Age Templar, good evening from SV Boreal. Oh, hello, SV Boreal. Grasshopper, I think you can, as a person, no fixed abode, you can vote in a place where you spend most time. You can. I know somebody who does that. And they can move their vote over to you. Night. Good night, DD. Everyone, God bless us all. Yeah, don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution, even if the High Court judges don't. But well, at least we can try. That's it. Good night. God bless to everyone. Let me see what that message is. But at least we tried. Graham or Ren Archer, much love to you, Graham, from New Zealand. Hello to New Zealand. Our friend from New Zealand's in the chat, YouTube. Woohoo! Good. That's it. Let me have a quick look on here. Good night. Well done to everyone. I'm really pleased. Good job you didn't show your high heels, DD. Listen, I ain't got I haven't even got shoes properly yet. Good night and well done, DD. Tiddly poo to everyone. That's it. I'm off. Good night. The English Constitution is the solution. It is. Well done, DD. Hope the move goes well and you have a bit of rest. Good night and God bless. What I need is a good shag, to be honest with you. Let me have a look. Ray Edmonds, good night. God bless you all. Neil 56, well done for today. Excellent news. We won't know what they're doing until they do it. But you've then possibly got to do an appeal and all that. I don't know how much that's going to come though, but they're probably going to. I don't know if they defer the costs or not, but they will be trying to keep me out of it. But that's it. I'm off. Good night. Au revoir. Tiddly poo and all that.